It's a brand new week on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brand. As always, I have the ladies. Hello, ladies of Your View.
Good morning.
How you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Amazing.
Biajilu, how was your weekend?
Before my weekend, you got shout out. You have a shout out this morning.
Oh yes, so we have this Auntie Ola in Abuja. She like literally loves our show. She sends her love to us. She works with the vice president and she just adores our show. And she just wanted me to say hello to you ladies. And hello, I'm sure she's watching. She's really, really amazing. I took a picture with her. She's lady in red. Okay. Really, really amazing lady. So I just thought to say hello. Let me join Nima in shouting out today. Okay, how was your weekend, Jai?
My weekend was good. I rested on Friday. Then we had a PTA meeting. So I had to drag Oga. I said, come, you have not gone for PTA meeting
in a while.
In a long while, so we have to go together. He was like, I'm tired, I want to stay. I said, no. Let it not look like I'm the only one who's showing up. Right. You are available today. I know you're tired. We would need the sleep, but then let's wake up and go for the PTA. It was nice. They brought this new technology that if you come to school as a child, you clock in and it tells us in our phone. So while I'm here, if my daughter has gotten to class, she'll clock in and I'll get a notification that my children are in school. And it's good for parents who use the school bus because I don't drop them myself anymore. I need to know when they get to school.
Out also, you know she's left the
class.
Yes,
I know she's left the class, so I can time when the school bus brings them home. It was amazing. And so many other things.
I need this one.
Are you serious?
Excelsior, please go and buy it.
Oh, God.
Because I worry every day back to
technology solves our problems.
It does.
We must embrace it at all levels.
It does.
I'm going to suggest it at the PTA meeting. We're going to
Please suggest it. I'll find the name for you.
How are you doing, Nima?
Wait, let me start with shout-outs because I didn't make that birthday that was supposed to be yesterday. I broke down, tired. I didn't get out of my bed. I was just dragging. I struggled. I couldn't make it. Auntie Joke, happy birthday. May you live to another 45, 55 years. I'm very sorry I couldn't make it. I dragged. I couldn't. I was worn out. But the event on Saturday, I was shocked to see Missy Ransom Kuti at the event. She was the matron of the youth, Lagos Connect Youth, and she attended because Lagos Youth organized that event. It was really, really amazing.
That's nice.
And we had a talk. It's on
Did
Facebook.
you speak?
I spoke.
Yes, I trust you.
I spoke and I left a few messages on my reflections. Okay. It was really nice.
I would like to look at those reflections.
But we were held in with the rain. It was heavy rain on that day, and it was a success.
How was the feedback from the kids, the young
kids? Fine. A lot of people farms in, of course. My number is not a public number.
That's nice. It's good that
but then something funny happened yesterday.
Nima, you don't do now.
Yeah,
how are you? How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty, doing mommy duty. So it was basically spending time with my kids and I'm working on a project, so I'm putting it together, and I'm so happy about it because it's between me and my husband. So we're spending time together, and I said working with my husband would be tough because we work on different frequencies. Yes, I am the kind of person that under pressure. You said you're going to put this thing together now. He said, I can't work like this. No, I can't. You can't be doing this to me. I'll shut down. I was not looking at him like, you want us to do this together. This is the way I work. If I want something, I want it like yesterday. He said, no, just calm down. I'll do it. So it took me being patient and just let him take his own time because apparently his system of working, will still deliver, but we're delivering at different pace and,
that's how life is, really. You just find a way to work with each other.
Yeah.
Some people are very fast, others
it brings you closer together. Because you now know in other parts of
the
Let's go, Nima. So what was the other person you wanted to say?
It was a comedy that happened yesterday. So we came to Daddy's room to sing Happy Father's Day song for Daddy. And my husband wanted to test who was most loved by the children. And he said, we tried to do the trick of somebody being in trouble. And all the children ran to my side, first time. Second time, I was like, Imran, Daddy is fighting me. That take time.
Ew.
And I won on all counts. I tried like 4 times. I won every time. And father was like, this Father Day we're talking about. Obviously, it's eye service.
Even Father's Day, in my church, in fact, it was so funny. They did the play. That wasn't the play, actually. The kids came to come and talk and celebrate Happy Father's Day.
Okay.
And everything the kids were saying, we love you just like mom.
Oh.
You care for us just like mom. They care for us. Is it our day or is it Mother's Day? Every something. Just like mom. You did. Yeah, so this Father's Day
in their face.
Yes, that's the thing. They see you more.
Yes.
So I make a conscious effort to remind my children that it's
but
that
our fathers have done an amazing job. We must celebrate our dads. I mean, they are actually working hard. The Nigerian father is not easy to be a Nigerian father. Trust me. It's a lot of work. So we appreciate you. And we're going to be celebrating you this entire week. We're doing things related up until Wednesday, things related to fathers. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we find out what's going on in our country. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Yeah, starting with Punch. Public secondary schools turned into hideouts by hoodlums as facilities rot. Government has abandoned school monitoring, says NUT. Criminals stab photographer to death, injure fisherman in Lagos. NCDC conducts risk assessment on Ebola. Governor Abiodun reverses Amosun's policy on Mapoli. Picture here of power distribution firms owe transmission company 231 billion naira. And the picture here is about the rundown secondary schools. Oshunpo, Supreme Court hears Adeleke and PDP's appeal today. Let's start with the human interest story. The criminal stab photographer.
So this boy's name is Tode Julius. And this incident happened in Ayetoro area of Ebutameta and Yaba. So there's these they have two factions of hoodlums in that area. One, the Sawmill boys and the Adekunle boys, and they've been fighting over who is more supreme in that area. So this particular young photographer went to get noodles that evening to eat with his friend when the fight broke out. So he was just a victim of what happened in that area. His friend, immediately they saw the hoodlums coming, and with machete, they ran away. He ran away thinking his friend was coming behind him, only for him to hear later on that the guy was macheted and he died. So he's been taken to the mortuary. In fact, he's been buried already. He was buried that same day after he died. And also some other guys complained that they were coming back from, some fishermen were coming back from the Third Mainland Bridge, and they had an issue with their vehicle. So they decided to trek down. Hoodlums attacked them as well, cut off 3 of their fingers.
The PPRO of police in Lagos said he's not been given the report concerning this, so there was no feedback from him.
Another story that caught my attention, actually, before you come into talk about, is this issue of power distribution, because it's important to us. The MD of transmission company is saying that the discos, are owing them 231 billion, and they were saying that the only way, you know, they've been saying this since the beginning of the year. We're hearing the sort of issues on discos. Now he's saying that the only way we can salvage the situation is to have a recapitalization of the discos, which can also mean, because we've agreed to a public-private partnership. Right now, I hope they're not suggesting in any way that they want to take back this.
Capitalization can also mean they want to float it in public.
Yes, I know, but at the same time, I just hope that they're able to resolve the issue, because we don't want to say whereby they are constantly owing the transmission companies and they're not able to distribute. Their issue is that they cannot generate revenue funds from the consumers, which is us. They're having troubles getting the money out from us. And that story that caught attention,
yes, so there are 2 stories, the Ebola story and the Amosu story. In Ogun State, the former governor made a policy change in the name of the school. So instead of having Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, he changed the name back to Ogun State Polytechnic and established a new school, Moshood Abiola University of Technology. Yes. Now, when the new governor came in, he said that the policy on ground, because there's been protest and the school has been shut down since then, no activity going on, they don't want the change, they were not part of it. He said that everything should pause, they should return back to the way it was before, and then would have investigation into how best can we process having a new school of technology and all of that. Which
set up a committee to investigate and then until
that. Now, Ebola has been ravaging Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it is gotten into Uganda. The NSCDC, that's the Nigerian, the Nigerian Communicable Disease Commission. So they supervise issues that have to do with communicable disease. Say that they've gone through the airports, they've gone through our borders, and they've assessed the risk of Ebola coming into the country, and it's minimal. But they have also heightened protecting Nigerians through the ports and the
keep monitoring that Ebola story. Let's move on to Vanguard. Just hope it never happens again. Insecurity. Parents now afraid to send children to school, says UNICEF. Nigeria's world's 16th least peaceful country, says report. Ministerial nominees, governorship candidates battle orders for state slots. Bailout funds are structured loans to states. Apapa gridlock, truck drivers flout presidential order as chaos persists. And Ganduje orders probe of Kano Zoo 6.8 million naira swallowed by gorilla. And NINX server controversy, Atiku denies planning street protests.
We have three
okay, which story do you want to take?
Major headline first. So the UNICEF reported that based on insecurity, we have about 9 million children across Nigeria.
8 million children
out of school in Nigeria based on insecurity. Parents are afraid to allow their children go to school. Girl child as at the highest, and already as it is now, they're being raped in school. The few who are trying to go to school are being raped in school, largely based on the issues of insecurity in the country. Basically, that's what the report is about.
Okay.
Moving quickly to the second one, Apapa gridlock. The president had to reissue a new order. And even after the reissuing of the order, the truth is, yes, traffic has reduced on most of the roads, but it's been moved tightly into Apapa. It hasn't solved the problem at all. So we have Eco-Bridge free, we have the Western Avenue free, we have the up to Second Rainbow free. But once you get to Mautu, into Apapa, Coconut Tinkan, there's a terrible situation there. And there was a terrible accident unreported over the weekend in the papers. I'm surprised I didn't see it.
The train
fell on all the cars. Imagine cars lining up, which was the situation on Wednesday last week when I came. We're lining up close to the trucks. And one stupid container recklessly falls over. There were no survivors according to the report.
Anyways, there was this story about Nigeria being the 16th. Where there's a global peace index. And Nigeria is the 16th least peaceful. What is even helping us is that we have a bit of security obviously is an issue. But you know how they say that Nigeria are the happiest people. So maybe that's the index that is actually making us at least not top the list, but we're the 16th. Let's move on to daily like this? You want to take another story?
Yes.
INEC.
Go ahead. So the Atiku has come out to say that because we had speculations that he was planning a protest because of the election result and what is happening at the moment. So his aide has said that it's false, that people are just trying to put him into trouble.
Moving on to Daily Trust. 548 Emirates chiefdoms guzzle billions annually. Wow, okay, now I know why you read that story. I really wanted to. That was a good story. Let's pick a story we're not taking. Youth sack police station, free 3 suspected gun manufacturers. Buhari orders new security measures in Northwest. That's like every week. We won't issue certificates twice, says WAEC. Gas explosion kills 3, injures 15 in Lagos. Labour cautions federal government over plan to sell Nicomsat. Let's talk the major headline.
No, just let me just quickly take the Taraba story. So 3 hoodlums were arrested, and in Wukari area of Taraba State, the police divisional office was ransacked, and they released these men. It was that the security men were making, they were planning to move the security men to Jalingo, but before they could make that move, the police the prisoners were released based on youths attacking the place. And
in fact, we need to talk about this Emirates. Do you have the breakdown?
I do. So billions are being...
Should I give you the paper, Seth, so you can read it properly? You have it. Okay.
I have it here.
I'm just saying
across all the northern states and the FCT, the Emirates and all the chiefdoms, according to how the paper reported them, is costing government over billions of naira. And we have 174 of them as first-class status, 130 of them second class, 205 of them third class, and 37 of them fourth-class status. And the paper went into the report, breaking down each state and what it cost.
Can I say it?
Please, the Emirates in Kano cost $1 billion naira monthly to run. The Caliphate in Sokoto, guest house, what they call it?
Yes, guest
over
house
500 and something.
Wait, let me have the figures in front of me. Because you need to hear this thing. Go and get Daily Trust, you get the information. Number 1, Kano, $1 billion naira for Kano Emirates salary monthly. They get 100 million from the local governments. Niger, 374 million naira cars for Niger emirs. Sokoto, 750 million naira guest house for Sultan. 500 million naira for Palace for Gusau and Emir. Zamfara, 5%. That's local government allocations to the Emirates, that's 5%. Katsina gets 5% statutory allocation deducted from the account of the local government.
Where's the money coming from?
3% to Katsina Emirates and 2% to Daura Emirates. Jigawa, 5%. Oh, Jehovah.
Where did they get all this money
add
from?
that under our constitution, they have no specific roles. Except, roles, of course, to mediate and
I understand
control
that.
their localities.
I understand that they have expenses, but when we have poverty at this level in your locality, and we're doing palliative, so I know that the Kano Emirates tends to feed and do a large community are getting fed
Just
by him,
gives food.
but that's just palliative. It's like we're just using.
Where do they get all this?
No, you are talking him.
We have to run up.
Plenty.
Let me
billions.
borrow Jumoke's phrase. She said something. Nigeria, who bewitched you?
Honestly.
Who bewitched us? Let's go on a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we actually wanted to talk about another topic, but the headline in Punch drew our attention, and that's because of the situation of our public secondary schools. We applaud all the major newspapers. I think Vanguard, Punch, Nation, a few others have been covering various stories connected to health and education, principally. These are the two sectors that have somewhat been abandoned by our governmental policies. So this particular article drew our attention, and that's because many states were covered in this. And I think we have those Akwa Ibom, Edo, Rivers, Ogun, Cross River, Osun, Enugu, and Lagos and Sokoto. These are states where the reporters went out, were able to capture how dilapidated these institutions have been, and how hoodlums have used these secondary schools as hideouts. Now, we'd like our viewers to call, if you know any secondary school in your neighborhood, in your area, that corroborates this story, please call in and come and share your stories with us. But I'd like to hear your own views when you heard this story of the fact that some people use as in Sokoto, they said that they're used as waste dump sites. So you actually go there to defecate.
So the story that touched me most was what happened, the Enugu side of the story, and I think it even also happened in Cross River, where students were saying that they are afraid to go to school because they've had cases of rape. And they don't have a fence. So they have hoodlums just randomly walk into an all-girls school, and people are kidnapped, raped, and children are now scared of going into school. The report has been made officially to the state board authorities, and nothing has been done on it, which is why I'm happy that Punch is highlighting these issues so that the government is aware that extensively everybody in the country will be talking about these issues. They also have the case of, they said that some schools around the buildings around the school, which should be monitored by the, of course, body that are supposed to monitor buildings, have brothels built around the schools, hotels
Going
built
back
around
to
the
Enugu, as you said earlier, I'd like to really quote from this report because it's pretty interesting. It says that a girls' school, the school was not fenced, there are no security personnel, and this is a female school. Our schools are raped often. Our students are raped often. Go to some classes, you see where the bad boys hide to smoke hemp. We need our schools to be fenced. That's the least anybody can do for that school. Go ahead.
I felt very terrible because I remember back in secondary school, we used to have periodic investigations where federal governments sending their people, officials to come into the school to see what's happening. So they go around the hostels, they see the teachers, they see the classroom. Are they saying now that these things do not happen anymore? Because I have seen a few schools, even in Lagos State here, around my area, is in deplorable state. In fact, you cannot even wish your enemy's child to attend that school. So are we saying now that the government, the local government, they are not seeing what is happening in school? Is that what we're saying at the moment? And the fact that they even allow hotels and pubs just around the school. Children see what they see is what they want to emulate and model after. So are we saying that we no longer care what happens because everybody needs to make money now? Is that what is really happening?
This problem is hydra-headed and is largely resting on corruption. So the issue of education in Nigeria is no longer an exclusive matter. It is a concurrent matter, and the state or local government can look into it. But we have officials of our ministries of education, our state ministries of education as well, the SUBEB and all that, also complicit in this matter. They are supposed to visit these schools and recommend certain things. We had what happened during the Queen's College investigation where there was a subtle kind of cover-up on the part of government protecting teachers who have contravened certain rules or have committed omission in their duties. So they will go to the schools and unreport certain circumstances to government officials.
Leaky roofs.
Okay,
leaky roofs.
I have a call. Let me take this call. I'll come back to you, Nima. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Morning.
Yeah.
My name is Eniola from Ekiti State.
Okay.
Morning, Eniola.
How are you? Yeah, nice topic. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm there. Money.
No, you can't listen to
Yeah.
yourself.
Listen to me, not the TV, so we can hear you. Go ahead, please, Eniola. Okay, you're out. All right, go ahead, Nima, you're saying.
So you have government, our own officials of government visiting schools and failing to do what they need to do to have those schools in proper position to educate. Now, this is, for me, the worry is that secondary school is the age where a child needs to really, really be grounded. This is the most important stage of forming any adult in this country. And you have the fences of school falling. I remember in my school then, the motto was discipline and knowledge. We dare not. Imagine trekking to school, we had to trek because the military wouldn't even allow cars at the time.
I want to call us.
And,
I want to
and
call.
yet,
Nima, we need to call because what Punch has done is to mention the names of the
Yes.
schools
And the states.
mention the states of the states the schools are.
Yes.
So we have Edo State, and they were mentioning Uselu. They're saying that these schools are broken down. Area boys live in the school.
Hey.
So this is not that the governor of Edo State cannot say, I am not aware.
Aware.
These
okay,
names
up
of the
until
schools
this
are
morning,
mentioned.
Let me even go
up
to
on this morning, you can no
Akwa
longer
Ibom,
say he's not
Sokoto.
aware. Maybe he's not aware before, but now
Yes.
there's a report.
Yeah.
So now there's another one from, I think it's Cross River. It says the challenge we have is that there's the issue of erosion. Now, their school is built on a sloppy land, and so water flows freely there. The biggest problem is the part of the fence beside the highway. We had to open that part for water to pass, but Hoodlums expand the opening and came into the school compound. So they have issues of erosion. They have the fact that they have to improvise by opening up. Unfortunately, that caused Hoodlums to come in.
Even in Sokoto, they mentioned that though they don't have a problem of dilapidated buildings, but there's a waste dump directly opposite the school.
And they mentioned the school.
They mentioned the name of the
Let
school.
me remind you
which,
what Sokoto is collective for the Emirates. Let me.
Okay.
It's in Daily Trust.
all right.
Sokoto, 750 million is paid for the guest house for the Sultan.
Yes.
500 million is paid for the Palace of Gusau, and the 5% allocation of the local government monthly is paid from collected
Let's
from the
just
federal
quickly add
government.
the
So
19
even
point something
0.0%
billion
of that money is used to
so
clear that
move that
dump.
waste
Yes, so
dump.
let's
That's the
even
problem.
add the 19 point something billion that our lawmakers will be taking in both houses and the federal now. It seems like we are not ready to face the situation. As long as the people up have to get their money once allocation comes, imagine they'll pay Emirates, they'll pay Sultanate, they will pay House of Reps and House Senate. Before it gets to the bottom, it's finished.
It's finished.
Government
Let me take
becomes
this call.
difficult.
Good morning, are you there?
Good morning.
Morning, go ahead, please.
Yeah, my name is Wisdom. I'm calling from Marley.
Yes, go
Word
ahead.
for wisdom.
Yeah, I think the solution for that problem is if they should allow people playing football, because I know in my area there's a primary school there. They always allow football and parties. So that is where Hoodlums have
Take advantage.
the time to go inside there, and they smoke, they do a lot of things there. And sometimes you see police people coming around buying and smoke from all these boys there. So if they can stop football matches in primary school and primary and secondary schools
Okay.
and other social events.
Nice suggestion. Thank you very much.
Acknowledge the governor because the paper also carried a state where they are doing well. So in Akwa Ibom State, the former commissioner for education spoke concerning the fact that they got the report that 90% of the 2,000 secondary schools they had was broken down, and that as of when they were leaving the government, 70% of those schools had been renovated.
Okay.
There's still a few that could be worked on. So the numbers and facts will
some-
speak for themselves.
so some are
There's
working,
money,
right?
you guys have enough money to attend
Yes.
to this. It reminds me of what our former aspirant for presidential aspirant said, that we have consciously made poverty and illiteracy a part of our country, so that the political class can continue to impose themselves on the government, on the people.
I think this is a challenge to our new lawmakers. This is what I think they should be deliberating on when they get there and when they start their cabinet. This is what we should put at the forefront burner. So we're not just sitting down to calculate welcome back money and things that, you know, favor us at the end of the day. We should be talking about bills that will help this.
We have to remind ourselves, because we are told that Africans don't read, right? So there's a possibility that many people will not read this article. That's why it's important that we discuss it, so you understand the gravity of what's on ground. So when you are fighting for your governor to go and buy a bulletproof jeep, when you are there defending your political class, remind them that they are not paid.
Your children
they are not renovated the schools that your own children attend.
Me, I want to pray.
Pray, please.
That all these leaders are sincere about these things, that the actions that they take for our own interest in the office. The insincerity of them making lip service, paying lip service to things like this is why we are suffering.
Right.
And it will come around to haunt.
Right.
You cannot continue to leave the poor and protect your children. They will come around later.
The poor will come after them.
The revolution is closer to you than
I'm telling you.
Thank you, Nima. I think we can end with that. So let's go on a break, and we have to once again we have to applaud all the major newspapers, because we'll continue to project whatever it is you're doing. So do your work, and we'll end it for you. Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, Naira, Marley and Ruggedman are trending. We cannot but talk about it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We are going
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So before Naira Marley, we're going to talk about something. We're going to have our guest. Recently, the majority leader of the 8th Senate, Ahmed Lawan, and his counterpart in the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, emerged as the president of the Senate and the Speaker of the House, respectively. Now, on the show today, our guests will be highlighting what we need to look out for in the 9th Assembly. Joining us on the show is a member, House of Representatives, Honorable Rotimi Agunsoye. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you.
How are you, Nima and my sister?
So you can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Sir, now the 9th Assembly has resumed, and we have new leaders. The 8th Assembly was obviously filled with a lot of controversial issues. We are particularly concerned about a few bills that failed to pass, especially for the gender equality, it's the major one for us, and a few others. I'd like you to give us in a nutshell what the plan is concerning the 9th Assembly. What are the big things you're looking at or considering to pass to ensure that you achieve in this new inaugurated Assembly?
Well, thank you very much. First thing first, we have to give glory to God Almighty that we have those who can do the job in place. Okay. Like in the House of Reps, we have Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila there. Somebody who has the experience that before now, whenever is, to talk, other members will keep quiet to listen to him because of his wealth of experience. Okay. So since we have him in place, whatever we want to discuss, and again, is there to better what he met on ground. Okay. And as he said on the day that we were sworn in, he said he's there to reform the system. And truly, there are so many things to be touched so that we can, jointly as members move the country forward as regards the bills and motions we'll be sponsoring. Okay.
So I listened to the inaugural speech of the Speaker, and I felt encouraged, hoping that one of the issues that all the houses that have passed are afraid to deliberate on, of course, which is reduction in the cost of running the house, will be addressed, because he mentioned that they are looking to reforms, and certain reforms will not be easy, and the House members should be prepared for change. I'm hoping that that was what he was insinuating. Do you think he's insinuating the same thing I'm thinking?
Well, he's our Oga there, is the Speaker. Whatever reform is bringing to the table, we are prepared for it because we are Nigerians and we are prepared to move this country forward. Right. I don't know his mind, but one thing I know about him is that he's so passionate about this country.
Okay, sir. So I know now that the executive and the legislatures will work in sync as against what we had during the 8th Assembly. What's the guarantee now that the executives, the legislatures will be loyal to the people who, elected them and not just to be rubber stamp, furthering the agenda and the interests of the party?
Thank you very much. You see, the legislature and the executive, they have to understand each other in the sense that whenever anything is coming from the executive, the legislature must attend to it timely.
Okay.
If there is one thing I know about our speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, is that he's not a coward, he's a man of courage. His integrity is intact. I will tell you that anytime. That does not mean we will be rubber stamped. That if anything is coming from the executive, it will come the way and goes back the way it comes. No, it won't be like that. We will ask questions. But if the understanding is there that we want to move the country forward,
Right.
and what is coming from the executive is a matter of moving the country forward,
Right.
we'll attend to it timely.
All right.
So, well, despite the challenges in the relationship between the 8th Assembly and the executive, it's been reputed that they passed more bills than ever within one administration since 1999 till date. So, in actual fact, there's sort of like effectiveness within that assembly. Moving on to this one where we have smooth flowing relationship, one of the challenges that has been consistent in all of our House of Representatives is that there's issue of corruption, issue of people being put into positions that they are not able to effectively manage. And then where there is obvious, like we had a case of someone putting money in his cap and then nothing happened concerning that situation, where corruption is not being dealt with internally. People don't trust the system. What will be different this time that we will be able to be sure that there will be internal democracy and internal correction of anomalies within the system?
Okay.
You see, the truth of the matter is that corruption is everywhere.
Okay.
And it now depends on the leadership of any sector to be ready to fight corruption. Because look at this government in place, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari. The very day he got into power, he started fighting corruption. And corruption
It's fighting back.
is fighting back. Up till now. I'll tell you that. Corruption still fights back.
Many people disagree with your statement, sir.
You said many people. You see, opinion is the cheapest commodity on earth. Everybody is entitled to his or her own opinion. But I'm telling you because I am there.
Okay.
I've seen a lot.
Okay, let me come
I have seen a lot.
Let me come to sir. Let me come to the point you said that you are there, and I'm talking to you because you are my own representative. I live in Kosofe, so yes,
you are in Kosofe?
Yes, I live in Kosofe. Okay. So you are my representative, and I'm asking you now as a member of your constituency. When you people form committees, what are the objectives of these committees? Because we realize that there are 90-something committees about to be formed, and we have each chairperson. Why are these things so important? Because what we see is that it's about lobbying to collect money from third parties. The reason why you form a committee, so that you can say, if you want me to pass this thing, you better give me a certain amount of money. Tell us the objective of these committees, because must we have so many committees?
What have you done in the committees you've been in?
Well, I'll tell you. You see, whatever committee you find yourself, you are there to oversight the ministries, parastatals, and agencies. And what are you there to oversight? To ensure that whatever they are doing to standard.
Okay.
So if they are not doing to standard, you query, and they must answer. Like, I will tell you those committees that I was in the 8th Assembly: human rights, civil society, public petition.
There's no money there.
I am there to fight your cause, which I've been doing.
Okay. All right, Nima, let me jump in.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So I wanted to talk about followership. It's amazing the kind of leader we have in the House of Reps. I don't know so much about Lawan. We do. And you all have been saying amazing things about him. How willing are you, for instance, if you are called upon to court, are you even willing to advocate it or raise it as a motion on the floor of the House that these allowances are outrageous? People are suffering, schools are dilapidating. Oh, yeah, court from my own first.
You see, when you are talking about allowances, if the allowances, if they are too much, we will address that in this night assembly.
Yeah, you said
I
if.
can assure. Yes, I said if. I said if. You see.
You don't believe they are too much?
What are the allowances? You see, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila will talk about this. He will address this very well, so that the people that we are representing, they will understand.
Oh, the House of Assembly has never been transparent about these allowances. They've never been transparency. We've asked people, they will never tell us the amount they are getting.
If you are asking the wrong set of people, they will not talk.
So how much are you getting? Published somewhere?
No, if you ask the right set of people, they will talk.
You mean
the right set of people to talk is the leadership of the House. And I am telling you, it will be addressed, and you will know
so
every penny.
We are going to suggest that you people should make it public, so we can go online.
That's what I'm
see.
saying.
Yes. Okay, but I wanted to talk about the autonomy of the local governments.
Yes.
Now, a lot of governors are fighting the NFIU guidelines, saying that the monies don't have to go directly to the local government, that they still share. But then the local governments are saying that we really do not get anything at the end of the day. Would it be something that you people will ensure? Because I heard that the case, the case was even in court recently, and it was striked out.
By the special grace of God, I was the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs in Lagos. You see, you need to empower the local governments to be able to do more than what they are doing. And again, in empowering them, there must be a system in place that will check those at the local level. And again, the states must get more than what they are getting. That is talking about true federalism. They should get more they are getting, even from the federal allocation.
Wow.
Yes, I will tell you, when you are talking about true federalism, the local government is the closest government to the grassroots. For God's sake, the federal government does not, have much to do with the grassroots.
Okay, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, I have to cut you off. Unfortunately, I have to go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Yes, Tokwe.
So I'll be taking you up on two things. One is that you are asking if the amount of money being paid to our lawmakers is too much. If they are going to be getting 19.8 billion naira in 3 months, and we are asking if it is too much. That was from Punch. It's not me. They released the figure that's what they'll be getting as compensation for both those that are coming for the first time and the older ones. Everybody's getting money. That's on one side. Number two, you said the state should be getting more money from the federation. I'm wondering, our states are supposed to, most of our states are already insolvent, and that's a fact. They are unable to manage the resources they have. Shouldn't the idea be that every state governor should generate internally revenue to sustain its vision and sustain the state and move it to the next level?
Not encourage going
to the federal cap in hand to get more money from the federal.
Yes, you are correct that states should generate revenue. That is internally generated revenue. They should do that, but in a situation where they cannot generate more than what they are generating.
Why?
I will give you an example, like a state, take Ekiti, for example. Look at Osun, the state of Osun is another one. Do you want the state to milk the people dry?
They have gold. It's on the exclusive list.
You see,
so why can't the lawmakers help release this
Their own
resources?
lawmakers, the three from, how many from Osun, for instance, should be
see,
fighting them until it's done.
You see, to mine the gold they have,
Yes.
there must be a kind of agreement between the federal government and the state government before they can do that. I think they are having a kind of problem within themselves to iron that out. And when I said the state should get more money from the federal, Ramfak should do something in that regard. Because the closest government to the grassroots is the local government. And the local government, they are not all that empowered. And the states as well. There are so many states roads. Take Lagos, for example. You talk of Apapa, you talk of this place is bad, that place is bad. And even part of the federal roads, the state
Are the ones fixing it.
they are the ones.
So you agree that a lot of things should be taken off the exclusive list?
Look, of course, if we must move forward,
Right. Okay.
I agree.
Okay, good.
And we'll do something about it.
That. Okay.
So that's part of the things you want to do in the new night.
Okay,
assembly.
By the special
Yes,
grace.
So I'm going to go very general now because I know that for a country to go ahead.
Let Tokwe mention something.
Okay.
That Punch reported that we are getting.
19.8
billion naira.
In 3 months,
I
welcome
don't
package,
know
wardrobe allowance.
how Punch arrived at that.
Okay.
There was a time when Professor Sage made mention that we were getting 25 million naira
A month. Right.
When I did the calculation, it was even here. When I did the calculation, you saw that it was lie.
Okay.
Do you understand? We were not even up to now, we are not getting 10 million. Go and find out. But at the appropriate, at the appropriate time,
Ramfak
the
will tell us.
leadership of the house or Ramfak would
Okay.
disclose
Let
that to
me
you.
take this call and I'll come to you.
All right.
Yakub, are you there?
Yeah, Morayo, I'm here. Good
Thanks for
morning.
calling. Go ahead, please.
And then good morning to you. Because
Morning.
let me go straight to the point. Morayo,
Yes.
I think I disagree with Honorable in the studio there. When Sister Nima asked the question that either Sister Nima or Mama Beji, that how much is he getting as allowances? But he was telling us that the leadership of House is in position to tell Nigerian citizens the truth. I cause to disagree. Why? Morayo, this is your representative. You have to know what is getting. Even though when Shehu Sani tell Nigerian citizens that they are getting 13.5 million running costs, although we did nothing to it, the civil society organization they adopt, they did not do anything to it. Nigerian citizens, they did not do anything to it. Even though in this studio, we are shouting, Morayo is shouting that time. Nobody did anything. But I would say that the honorable in the studio there, he representing Morayo, Samuel Adejare representing me here in Dokwebu, and then Ogudimu representing me in Lagos State House of Assembly. This is the position to tell me how much he's getting.
Okay.
Even
All right.
though you don't want to tell, why you don't want to tell us?
Thank you very much, Yakub.
We want to know the truth.
Okay, thank you very much, Yakub. Go ahead.
Okay. So I said I wanted to ask a general question. We know that for the country to move forward, we need to have an agenda. We need to have like a Nigerian dream. I don't know what the Nigerian dream is. Now, this is a new legislature that is about to kick off. What are we putting forward? What are we working on? Are we saying, okay, let's take
What's your
education.
vision?
Yes, let's
what's
take
the vision?
education. Let's take
Yeah.
Insecurity.
Yeah.
These two. Let's follow these two
what's that
strictly
thing?
for
Yes.
the next
Thank you.
4 years.
Fantastic.
Or we're just going to be
I quite agree with you that, we have a vision and in the area of security, you made mention of state policing. I totally agree to that. I have been saying this over time, that the only way we can secure our country is for those people that know the terrain in their area to go back and secure their area. Okay. For example, in Lagos here, don't bring people from the north to come and secure.
Lagos.
And don't take people from Lagos to go and secure the north or the people from the east.
Right.
You understand? It is when you know the terrain that you can.
Even this is debatable.
And also, I'll tell you that what we'll be doing in this 9th assembly, the bills And motions we'll be sponsoring will be people-oriented bills. Bills that will move the country forward.
Yeah, that's a very political response.
Very
But
vague.
okay, let's go.
That is
Politician.
war. No.
The issue of police,
we'll let you slide. Go ahead.
state policing is also being debated. Some people are of the view that it's totally unnecessary. I remember YK always saying here, how many are we? Are we up to the state of Texas in the US? Why do we need state policing?
You don't even know your population.
I think the problem of Nigeria...
And that is the truth. That is the truth. When you are saying how many are we don't even know our population. The last time we had census was in 2006. And this is 2019. I've sponsored motions upon motions on that.
Yeah.
You cannot even distinguish those people that are from Niger from
Nigerians.
Before you came on, sir, ROT, before you came on, we were talking about schools, and obviously this issue of education is a major problem for us. So in this our constituency, for example, what can we do? How can we ensure that this 9th Assembly prioritizes education and health? What can you do to support the executive on this mission? Because we know that they'll engage ministers, but they still need laws to back it up to ensure that we make education. For our budget, how much is our budget? I don't even know what the budget is, the allocation for this last budget. But the last one was about 50-something billion.
One of the lowest.
What can we do to ensure that we have the right amount of money to back up this issue of education and health?
Thank you. You see, we are looking at the problems. We are not checking causes of the problems. Now, I'm sorry. The answer I'm going to give here will, cause...
Shake table. Let's even break it.
The thing is this. There is already population explosion in Nigeria. We are talking about education, health. We are not talking about some other things. And God forbid, in another 5-10 years, if care is not taken now, I am sorry.
So it's a population
Now,
issue.
Okay.
education. We need to spend more on education. If you go to some areas within the country, you'll find out that some people, they don't still believe they should be educated. Okay. They believe in, begging for this and that all around, which is not helping our situation. And hardly you see any family in the, I won't mention, in certain areas, you'll find that you will not see at least 10 graduates in the family.
Okay, so, sir, while I disagree with a lot of the things, and there's no time enough for me to be interjecting to disagree, but the title of the show is to set agenda for the 9th Assembly, and I think that we have not done a good job of setting the agenda of what Nigerians expect the 9th Assembly to do. So I want to speak as you are representing my area too. What are my expectations from the 9th Assembly?
Give him the memo.
Is that the 9th Assembly is not just about funding, it's about curbing corruption in the spending. So when we have budgets for any area, the job of the Assembly is to do oversight duty to ensure that if you say you are doing roof, the money actually does the roof. Your Assembly is supposed to monitor that this is done so that we are sure. We want access to good health care, and we expect that you will push a law. I expect you, my representative, to push a law that is saying that every National Assembly member should not access health care abroad, should have health care here. Because we know that until you wear the shoes, sir, you will not know where it is pinching. A lot of our leaders don't understand the reality of education and health care.
I told you that.
So we want you to feel us.
I told you that whatever bills that we'll be sponsoring will be people-oriented bills. I said that to you. And if you want me to take it one after the other, why am I there as a legislator? I am there to make laws. I am there to do
So we can
oversight.
hold you
Do you understand? Of course.
Okay.
That's why I'm letting you know what I
said
want
you are
from
in my
we are both in your constituency.
But you've been hearing about Rotimi.
I saw a kind of purple. I didn't see...
Not only that, by the special grace of God,
Yes.
I believe in the people that I'm representing, and I've been doing my bit to, help them.
Okay. So we'll bring you back. You're just about to start.
Yes.
We'll bring you back for the
I'm
end of
not
the year.
dealing with the issue. All this our house already. I'm giving us second
Let me
We're not dealing with the poverty on ground.
Let me tell you,
creating framework that would encourage growth. So we do palliative measures, but we're not dealing with the problem.
Tope, we will deal with the problems. Okay. In a way, you are contributing your quota to the development of this nation by what you people are doing here. And I am telling you that all this that you are talking about, we are going to attend to it one after the other.
Unfortunately, we have to round up.
And you will see that this ninth assembly, both, the ninth assembly in the House of Reps and Senate, you will see that they are there to
bills. Can I tell my viewers that you'll be here in the next few months to review again
by the special grace of God.
So we'll bring you back again. Yes, Nima.
Please help me greet Adiola Olamiliko and Ogenego, and I'd like them to come here. So it means I can give them, I can read out.
Okay, from your constituency.
In the House of Reps and the Senate. The two of them.
I'll tell you that anytime you call on Yayi will answer you.
I can't wait to. We need to sit here because Agege and Agunsoye is not doing alone. Lagos is representing us.
Senator Yayi, we are calling you.
I will deliver your message.
We have to go, unfortunately, sir, but we are going to bring you back.
Yes.
Okay. To review, because what we have highlighted here, health, education, and gender equality, they're extremely important.
Security.
We are not even talking about security.
Security, it's major. I just stole my phone now. Security is major.
Okay, we have to round up. Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
Thank you.
All right, that's all we can take. Let's not tear this man into pieces.
Thank you for doing it.
And we come back. Let's all discuss Naira Marley now. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So again, jejely we're minding our business. And Nigerians on Twitter. And we're reacting to the video of a Nigerian rapper, Ruggedman, who was allegedly attacked in London restaurants by 4 men. Prior to this incident, Ruggedman has been actively involved in the hashtag #EndSARS and hashtag #EndYahooYahoo campaign, especially on the Naira Marley saga. However, it's allegedly believed that the attack was from the fans of Naira Marley. Now, what are your general thoughts on this? And the fact that somebody from South Africa was even threatening Ruggedman. You can call us on 070-80668014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. Although some are saying this could have been a publicity stunt. Well, either way, it almost broke the internet over the weekend. But everybody kept reposting this video. My fear is, are we saying that we don't want people criticizing anybody that is doing wrong? Or are we saying that we shouldn't judge anybody? What exactly
our standard of right or wrong, has it changed?
Has it changed?
As the sun started rising from the west and setting in the south. But I don't understand. The beating that we saw in that video, can it be staged? That guy would have just died there. Maybe because his face came out because of a lot of dodging and blocking. Nigerians don't know whether bone they pain him. The beating is terrible, and I don't think somebody will stage it.
And the Nigerians?
Now, more annoying, I even love the fact that the Nigerians were stupid enough to do it in a country that had law and their justice system and criminal system was tight. So we know that they are in trouble. But what's more annoying is the fact that we know, all of us know, that if somebody should defraud us, we will call out that person. I was defrauded last month because someone came crying to me, please just loan me money, I'll pay it. I'm in trouble and all that. And I loaned him the money. He was begging, I knew he was never going to show up. So something as simple as that would kill somebody. Now imagine that all your entire investment, you had lured into putting it in another investment and you thought you were doing something right. And somebody takes away your money and starts to have a ball. So that's basically what it is, what we're discussing here, internet fraud. So I take my money and I put it in an investment, not because I know that this person wants to defraud, I give the money, no. I take my money and put it in an investment somewhere in Africa and it goes like that. And then I see every other African and think they're all the same. And we further destroy ourselves. And you sit down, you hear it, but all some people think about, and unknowingly mothers now say, So the definition of stealing is now different.
Yes,
it varies across board.
I'm even more worried because this is we call ourselves the next generation, leaders of tomorrow. And somebody who speaks against fraud, you have the guts to want to kill that person. That even tells me that our moral compass has gone wrong. And secondly, I will still tie it back to our leaders, because the truth is, a father that is smoking cannot be telling the son not to smoke. So we see our politicians get away with all this money, and we see them living large. Some of them run and hide abroad. And then a young boy who sits down to want to steal, the excuse is that if the politicians can do it, if the leaders can do it, why can't I do it? Why are you hounding me for it? But let's ask ourselves a question. Is this where we want to go as a nation?
Somebody asked a question, Obiajulu, that if these Yahoo boys were stealing from our politicians who allegedly have stolen from us, would you accuse them the same way you're accusing? Because right now, we feel like they are stealing from the innocent people from wherever country. But
Abroad.
if the reality is that they are actually stealing from a senator who has robbed them dry, would you say the same thing about this person?
Stealing is stealing, because the truth is they steal from Nigerians as well. People lose money from these Yahoo people. I've been a victim too. So stealing is stealing. Where you're stealing from, yes.
And that's why people try to define it otherwise, saying, to be there's poverty in the land. So go ahead.
There's no way to sugarcoat the truth. It's the truth is you're stealing, you are defrauding people, and you are giving us a bad name. And so you should be named and shamed. I stand with Ruggedman. I did a post when he started this campaign a few weeks back and said on Instagram, I stand with you. Because very few people will be willing to put their popular face on the line because of this kind of things, because they don't want the backlash that would happen to them. We have many celebrities that are profiting from Yahoo boys who fund their musical career, and so they don't speak up even when they know it is wrong. But when it comes close to home, if one of your family members is defrauded, you can now shout out. So I'm happy that Ruggedman is speaking up. I feel bad that he was brutalized in London, but I am happy he's speaking up, and I believe we should have more people speaking up against every form of crime.
More people. So
now, Naira Marley, let's come to Naira Marley.
I don't want us to link it too much to Naira Marley because he hasn't been convicted yet.
No. He posted, you see, sometimes you don't need somebody to convict you. When you yourself, you are convicting yourself. Because he said, he did a video and he said that, Yahoo boys, I've done jail time for you.
For you guys.
I've done jail time for you guys. Or am I a Yahoo boy? You are owing me. So it is a case of we have a group of internet fraudsters who make money from these things. And some people, on the other hand, who are profiting from the money they've made. So they no longer see it as wrong. And if you can condone this crimes, you will condone bigger ones. We're just forming as if it's not a big deal. It is indeed a big deal.
YK sent us a video on the group. That's Link on You video, which is very powerful. And the gentleman talking, I don't know his name, was talking about the 3 letters, MPH. Lecturer. The P one was pragmatism. What is pragmatic for us to do in this kind of situation? I wish I could answer it on national television, but I can't. Privately, I will answer it. But there's some things we have to be practical about. Somebody must be shown, must be the scapegoat.
Example.
Somebody must be the example, because the only way we can curb this issue of Yahoo is where somebody is used as a scapegoat. Not just arrest them and they go out with their bail for 5 million. No. Somebody must actually pay for it.
Mariah, that guy mentioned in that video that when they started to cause a change in Senegal, what they did was to arrest the top person.
In Singapore, they were killing people.
Yes, arrest the top person. So in an organization where fraud is rampant, they come and they pick the minister. In a ministry where this is rampant, they come and they pick the minister, they pick the governor. So when you see that your governor goes to jail, he's not bailed, he spends years, he suffers it, everybody will sit
China
up.
kills
And I think that is what we should start doing here.
China kills, beheads CEOs of big organizations.
And people will sit up.
So we're not asking for that, but let's always be careful. But let me say this.
We're not ready yet.
Why are we not ready?
We're not ready for it, obviously.
Why?
Let's all take this call, please. Don't put me in trouble. Joshua, are you there?
NBC.
Yes, good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Mariah.
Morning.
Good morning to the ladies there.
Good morning.
I just want to say that justice may be slow at catching up with criminals. Maybe when we talk about leaders, politicians, and all that, we know justice is very slow. Especially when you talk about democracy, we're trying to sustain the rule of law and all that. So the processes of getting criminals, arresting them, trying them, prosecuting them, jailing them and all that may be slow, but it will eventually come.
Joshua, let me pause you for a quick second. Joshua, let me ask you this question. If we have a collective desire to move this country from a third world to a first world, don't you think sometimes we should probably put aside this issue of democracy, because democracy is actually truly slow. And that's one of the frustrations of our president. He said there was a time when he was the general, he knew how to handle issues of criminals.
Yes.
Right now, he has to follow due process. So is the practical step today democracy, or should we choose other means to get this country back on track?
I think that I agree with you. The point should be maybe sponsoring a bill, which is actually where the president stands. It is the work of the judiciary to help us in this direction. I think we need to have a system above the present judicial system, that will try criminals, that will fast track all those things. But it has to come through the cooperation between the executive and the judiciary.
Right.
And I hope that will be done.
Right.
What I just want to make as a point is this. Please, we should not make any excuse for criminal activities. Whether politicians are doing it or not, does not allow anyone
Point taken, Joshua.
to
Thank
be
you very
a
much.
criminal.
Yes.
We are an autonomous state. And if we really want to grow, we need to sit down and ask ourselves, is this democracy working for us? We can create our own system of government, the one we are using, our own style of democracy that works for our nation. So we pick what works, and what doesn't work, we drop it. The one we are using, we didn't create it. We need to start fashioning out solutions that will suit our problems. That's the only way we can go ahead in this nation. If you ask me,
I agree that the current style of fighting democracy and moving Nigeria forward is extremely slow. But have we been sincere in what we are practicing? No, we haven't. We haven't been sincere in practicing to the letter the democracy we have adopted.
Is it possible to be sincere?
So if we have, that means if you need to bring, even if you bring another system of government, with the insincere people running the system will not work. Every system can work if you practice it to the letter and you're sincere about what you want to achieve. So whether we say we're fighting, see the issue with Naira Marley. Okay, he has gotten his bail, is out. There are many other corrupt people. Some people are saying that, oh, why are you facing Naira Marley on this thing? There are many other people that are committing more grievous crimes that are not being prosecuted like Naira Marley is. So why are you witch hunting him and making him an example? That is the system fighting. They say corruption fighting you by, but practice it to the letter. Be seen to be transparent. Don't witch hunt Naira Marley or witch hunt anybody. Do what you are meant to do in a way that nobody can hold you or question your motive for doing what you've done.
I also love the fact that the courts showed us an example with Naira Marley. So the way trials like this happen, it happened normally. He came to court, he applied for his bail, and he was held until he was able to fulfill it, which is the norm. Unlike what people expected, because he was a celebrity, should have been given a bail or recognition. And this is a major a felonious crime like we're talking about. This is fraud. There's no sentiment there. It's not because one person is popular. And Naira Marley should please stop comparing himself to people like Fela and co. Yes. I believe it's an insult.
Yes, it is.
And in his song, the lyrics as well say, I offer something different. No, you are not close to Mandela. Not at all.
You are not
There's nothing selfless.
You are not Fela.
There's nothing selfless.
I didn't hear that part.
There's nothing patriotic about what you have done. Fela called out government and corruption and inadequacies. Fela didn't promote fraud, promote corruption as a song and say and then he never aligned with any.
Let's go on a break. I didn't even know that he called the last name. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we have lots of tweets. Gradually, go ahead, please.
Mr. Adebayo says, so many people are fraudster sympathizers and apologists who see nothing wrong in committing fraud. Naira Marley will surely be in soup when he returns to the UK. He will learn a lesson or two from this self-inflicted ordeal. Oshinawa Kingsley says, our current law system empowers the rich and greedy elites, while the poor and helpless are punished vehemently. Let's look into our politicians stealing our collective fund, which is the major reason the country is perpetually decaying. Temilade Alonge says, we are the architect of our success and vice versa. Until we accept the truth, we go nowhere.
Okay. Abe John says, why should the state government get more than the local government when the local government are the closest to the people? Is this supporting his ambition? Andrew Instratam says, the federal legislators need their salaries and remuneration to be cut by at least 60%. they go there to fill their pockets. And he says, please tell your guests to take electricity off the exclusive list as well. It's holding things
We'll
up.
bring them back, don't worry. Yes, talk about having tweets first.
Temilade says that we're the architect of our success and vice versa. Until we accept the truth, we go nowhere. Abe John says, no. Dada Oloweyo says, we'll go after legislators inducing colleagues with dollars in membership green card. And who told any of you Amaya Yahoo Boy Krona is guilty of fraud? We didn't say he's guilty.
We didn't say that.
We just said it in his lyrics. That's a fact.
Okay.
So we have not said, we have not convicted him, we are not a court, but he promoted these lines in his lyrics, and that's a fact.
We have to round up. As a round up, but there was news about the fact that the wife of the president is saying that she's no more wife of the president, she's now first lady.
Yes.
So we should all be calling her First Lady Aisha Buhari.
This has become necessary according to her because of confusion.
All right.
So it's diplomatic confusion. So now when she travels out and she's not properly addressed as who she is, the wife of the president and the first lady of the nation, some people will say, well, what is the meaning of wife of the president? So
okay, I think I have a call from Edo, I believe. Morning, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, go ahead, please.
Mariah, good morning, and good morning to all the guests in the studio.
Thank you.
Say, we are talking about encouraging crime in this country.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we are talking about encouraging crime in this country.
Yes.
And your last caller, before you go on break, said democracy is a process that we shouldn't hurry it. And you now said when the president was in charge, or he was a military president, he dealt with criminal the way and the manner that it was quick to get justice. But I want to tell you today, getting justice is not a problem of democracy. The problem is from the president himself. E.g., who is the deputy Senate president today we have? He's a man who committed a crime against the country under the umbrella of APC. See, where Buhari, Nigeria is heading to nowhere. We should tell ourselves the truth. I wonder what stakeholders, because of their pocket, like those of you in the studio now, there are a lot of things you people know that is bringing Nigeria back. You can't say it or else you'll be fired.
That's not true. That's not true. People always make that assumption, but that's not true.
So nobody should make an excuse that democracy is the reason why in Nigeria we are not getting law criminal.
Okay, thank you very much, Edwin. So
the president's wife has already given the excuse for that she wants to be addressed properly. And then she had a meeting with the governor's wives, and they were confused about, should we also call ourselves wives of the governor, or should we call ourselves first ladies? And so she decided to put it out there. But I remember when she came out the first time, and the reason she gave for addressing herself as the husband, that there's no office as a wife, that there's no office and it's not formal, and that there's no reason to be creating an office for what is not important. She can carry out what she wants to do under any nomenclature. So people are now speculating all over social media. They're saying that we are beginning to see the true color of what the second term, because there's no aspiration anymore. So we're already in power, We're beginning to see the true color of what things would look like.
She wants to address as first lady. Leave her alone. That's okay. Stop reading meanings into this thing. Yes, go ahead.
See, we all have to read meaning, so we all have our opinions. We all see life from a different perspective.
Exactly.
Somebody was saying that you people are going to see her real face now, that she just removed the mask.
We've always seen her real face.
No, I feel that she shouldn't have, she has said it doesn't matter. So why is it mattering now? That's the point. So you don't come out and say it doesn't matter initially, and all of a sudden it starts to matter. Now you want to be addressed as the first lady that you said you didn't need an office for.
Mrs. First Lady, please, you are welcome to be first lady, because that's me. I prepared first lady because it's a good role. I'm going to be first lady one day, so I want to be called first lady.
The thing is, I worry about when are we going to address the fashion, the cost of dressing up as
that's
a first
not our show today. That's sorry, unfortunately.
But a lot of us are worried about
that is not our show today.
The budget for wardrobe.
Let's leave our first ladies.
Yes, Oscar de la Renta.
That's all we can take on the show today. We'll make our first lady a topic another day. Maybe next week we'll look at it.
But we're supporting women supporting women. We love you, first lady. Keep speaking the truth.
Let's take a few more tweets. I have about a minute left.
Kiss Mafe says, little wonder, that is why we are stuck where we are in Nigeria. Why would Ruggedman be attacked if his antagonist and attacker see anything wrong in crime? Our moral compass hasn't lost its bearing. It's been rid of completely. No more value system. Kayode Kaka says, Yajulu is right. Corruption practitioners and beneficiaries are both liable, even those who glamorize it in the media or at Owambe parties, fake graduation at kindergarten schools wearing academic gowns they are not qualified for, and others. He says, democracy isn't the problem. 2 years ago, the president of South Africa was indicted by a civil servant. He was later booted out of office and put on trial. Yesterday, the First Lady of Israel went into a plea bargain in her fraud trial, and she's refunding dollars.
Wow.
Okay, so unfortunately, that's all we can take on the show. I think we had a loaded show today.
We had.
We'll bring in ROT again, and this issue of education is paramount for us, and we need to continue to talk about it. And the issue of crime, insecurity is very big, so we'll continue to monitor these stories. I think we can leave now. We can conclude on that. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a fabulous day. Don't forget, our Father's Day show is on Wednesday. If you'd like to join the audience, please come in early. Send your name, your phone number, and picture to yourview@tvccommunications.tv. So you can come early. We can only take 30 fathers. And the objective is to celebrate fathers, to talk to our dads and see how they're managing this whole situation of being a father. All fathers, only fathers.
Upcoming fathers.
We'll see.
Only men.
We're all men, Sha. That's a Father's Day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.